So you don't freeze mid assignment because you panic. Let's talk about that. When you're in the middle of an assignment, you're freezing because you don't trust you're trusting the wrong version of yourself. Let me explain what I mean by that. In the moment when something shifts and you don't stop, you, and then you stop and you're choosing what to do. In that moment is the default, because your default is the version of you. Maybe in that moment that you freeze, you hesitate, or you second guess yourself, or you start questioning everything. So it's not that you don't know what to do in those moments. Farther from the truth is that you trust the version of you more than you actually know. And that is why it keeps happening, right? Because and the thing is, it's not because you're not good. It's because the version of you that is showing up is what you've practiced the most. That version of you that when you're in the middle of something and then you go, oh gosh, I've lost it. And then you hesitate or you freeze, whatever. That's going to keep showing up. That's what's going to keep happening because that's what you've practiced the most. Because this is what I really want us to understand. We did not rise to the level of our training. You don't rise to the level of your training. You fall, right, to the level of your trust. How do you trust yourself in those moments when those things are happening? Because that's why you see capable people of they've done the training and the coaches, the trainers, the people are telling them, yeah, you know your stuff, you've got this, you can handle this. And then when push comes to shove, like you're there in a job, you're about to do the thing, and someone says something or a word happens, and then you go, the hesitation happens. Do you procrastinate to put yourself there to do the thing, or you start feeling this imposter about yourself? That's what you're falling to. You're falling to your level of trust for self. You're falling to how you show up. Remember yesterday we talked about how our brain doesn't know the difference between don't. So when you say, I don't want to mess up, I don't want to sound stupid, the brain, it just takes that don't off. It doesn't know the difference and hears mess up, freeze, I do this. So now, when we're now in that midst of middle of the job, we're doing a thing and something happens and we're thinking, but I know this stuff. I know what to say. I know how to handle this. I know the words to use, the signs to do, whatever that is. But I just lost it. I don't know. Because it's not about the skill. The skill is secondary. The skill has nothing to do. It's about in that moment you trust yourself to catch on, to move on, to find the right recovery, to sort things out. Because we would just be like, oh, they're looking at me some ways. So I guess they don't understand what I'm saying. I guess maybe I didn't use the right words here, or this happened, or whatever. So I don't know. We are falling to how much we trust ourselves in a moment. If we feel like we're not good, if all these things are happening. So you have trusted your doubts more than your abilities in those moments. When those things are happening, is because you don't trust you, but you trust how you're thinking about you. So it's gonna keep showing up. And then your body's gonna be tensing and you're feeling this your heart palpitation, all those things will start happening because you are trusting the version of you, the old version of you that just cannot handle the stress, that cannot handle the whatever is happening. So you default to that feeling. We just land in there. I had a client who had a coworker, and it was so it was they worked in a school, and they had, other colleagues. It was like a what's it called, an assembly. So they had to interpret for, so it's a sign language interpreter. They had to interpret for the deaf tutors and the deaf kids. It was in a mainstream school for the thing. And they had other people there. So you have other colleagues, other teachers that had like that knew some signs and stuff like that. And they were doing their thing. So now all eyes are on you. So you're there in front of your peers, in front of your colleagues, in front of everything. And people are looking, thinking, oh my goodness, now everyone's gonna like, oh, they could do this better than I am, and I'm here being chosen. She was having that conversation in her head. So what happened was when something threw her off, she just decided to like, I'm an imposter. I'm not supposed to be doing this. There are other qualified people in this space than I am because you're still training and whatever. So I can't. You take it and passed it on to the other person that was she was co-working with. And now the pressure, I guess, is no longer on her. And now this other person's there and she's there just calm. And everything that was said, she was now able to just do in her head. So it wasn't a skills problem. It wasn't that she wasn't capable. It wasn't that she didn't know what she was doing. She knew the message. She knew what she's done it before. And still she hesitated. So it's not a skill. She's just been loyal to the pattern of, I don't know what to do. I can't handle this. She's been loyal to that. Like, pass it on. I'm not capable. Da 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 da. And then they're thinking, oh, I just need to go and do more training on this. I need to go and practice this more here. I need to go and learn how to. Thinking is a skills problem when it's got nothing to do with the skill. She's just been loyal to the pattern that she has developed unknowingly with herself. And every time she gets to that point, she gets tense. She has this like rumbling belly, her heart's like all those things are happening. When really she gets to decide the version of her that she gets to choose to show up and how she handles those situations than thinking because she did not need to build her confidence in those spaces. It wasn't a confidence issue, right? What you will need to do, you need to stop rehearsing the version of you that breaks you. That's what we need to stop doing. Stop rehearsing the version of us that is affecting our soul. We always have this thing. For me, I always had this tense feeling of not being found out, that I am not supposed to be here. That was what was running the show in my head. I shouldn't be doing this. I was told I couldn't do this because I'm dyslexic. And I believed them. So I was always like, oh, I hope they don't find out that I'm not, that I am, so that they like running. So, and then when I'm thinking, so don't miss the word. And then when someone says something, ooh, then I go, like, my actually in my head, you won't hear the sound now. I'm just making it dramatic, but it's like, but in my head, I'm making this sound because they're now about to spell something, and my brain just goes and freeze instead of being present and catching the thing they're trying to spell. I've already blocked myself. So now whatever they're saying is just like doom, 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 like going over me because has happened. When I should have just kind of like, I've got this. Okay, let's bro. Like let's get the pattern. Like what's it? But he's like, I mean, I wasn't making a sound, but I was making it in my head. But every time. That was the pattern that was showing up for me. Every single time. Even if I knew what they were about to spell, even if I knew what was like, I got the info, the expo, everything, I know, but I still go. What if I mess up? What if? What's running my show? So it's not a skills problem. It's an identity issue. It was how I was seeing I was defaulting to that version of me that was, who's here? Who's gonna know? Who's who can, that's what's playing. That's what was kind of like hanging for me. So here's the thing. You don't fix the reaction. You interrupt that version that is running the show. That thing that is making you hesitate, that is making you second guess yourself or doubt or whatever. That's what we get to interrupt. That's what we need to like flip. So I went from to I caught myself. I changed it. Like I started like, doing things to just break it up. All right now, like bring the human, changing the state from going to like, oh, no, we've got this. Bring it, baby, in my head. Right. Okay. Do we need a paper and pen to write it down so we can see it and say it? Or like, do we like find ways to like, oh yeah, and she's spelling, so now that means you help me out here now. She's spelling Girl. Oh, girl. Yes. So now I spell it out, and someone's saying that, oh yeah, girl. You you interrupt it and you find ways. Then go to like, what the heck? To now like, oh, we've got this. Like, oh yeah, this is the thing. We find ways to like interrupt the thing. Is it second guessing? Oh, all I choose the best one for it. I would get it. Like if it doesn't, we'll figure it. Interrupt it in that time. Not allowing that to feel, oh, like, oh, I'm an imposter here. Oh, they picked me for the job, so I know my stuff. Whatever those narrative are, we're interrupted and filling it with that which we desire in real time. And all these things can happen in less than seconds. It's not like a full on, da, 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 da. Okay, we got this. No, real time. And we practice, it becomes like second nature. This is kind of like what we do when we work together to figure out like what's that thing that's holding you back. We get to interrupt it and fill it in with that which we desire in real time. Then allowing whatever it is for us, what's that for you? What's your version? Is it second guessing? Am I choosing the right word? Am I then, or you've chosen the word? Like another client that I worked with, like they picked out the word, oh, that didn't sound right. Oh, I should have said this better. In real time, they were still doing the job. And they're already like having this full on conversation in their head, like, oh, that one didn't sound good. And the conversation has moved on. And they're having this full on thing. So now they've lost track and then like, where the heck am I? What's going on? We get to ram it back. We get to bring it back in place. Focus and put the thing we want focused on. So knowing that in those moments, and this is the thing, we feel like once we get it, we emulate all the everything now is going to be rosy. We're not going to have any more issues. No, baby. We're human. Things are going to happen. Things are going to happen. You have a bad day. You miss something. Like, what? It's about how do you what do you do in those moments? How do you recover real quick in that real time? How do you like refocus yourself than beating yourself up? How do we make sure that we are on target as we are moving on in this thing in real time? Right? Because every time you hesitate, you second guess, you do whatever, you are not discovering who you are by doing that. You are reinforcing who you have been practicing. And this is what I want us to understand and for us to start changing. Let's start rehearsing that which we are becoming. Because the real question is, not how do I stop freezing? It is which version of me I am practicing right now. And when we can answer that question, we can then start going to our next level. I am Nene. We do this every single day. Remember that your voice matters and it's your time to use it. Bye for now.